And I kneel down to pray. I said, oh, blessed Lord, that you forsake my. And then he said, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Distant Traumas. I'm your host, Lisa Styles. Thank you for tuning in. I pray everyone has had a blessed and safe week. If not, I hope that you pray through it, because with prayer, things gets better. If you haven't prayed this morning, you should take a minute and say a quick prayer, because prayer really does changes things. Amen, amen, amen. Well, just a recap of last week's episode. I was talking about the greenhouse, aka the witchcraft house. You know, it's a lot to unpack that has happened in that house. We cannot get through it in one episode or two episodes. So throughout this podcast journey, I will be bouncing back and forth and talk about things that has happened in that greenhouse, aka the witchcraft house. But on this episode, we will be talking about giving someone the benefit of the doubt. But when you think about giving someone the benefit of the doubt, but at whose expense? Because usually when you do that, it's at your own expense. And sometimes it's at your own feelings that you would have to put aside, which that's not fair. Some would say yes because they are the ones gaining from giving them the benefit of the doubt. But I say no, 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 no. But I am guilty of giving a lot of people the benefit of the doubt. I was taught at an early age how to give people the benefit of the doubt. But it was kind of sugar-coated by saying, oh, turn the other cheek, because that's what God would do. So by me being brought up in the church, I listened and I done just that, but at the expense of my feelings. And that forced me to have to be around people that caused me harm, that done me wrong, that abused me, that molested me at the expense of my feelings. And I had to sit around these people, and I still had to deal with these people because, of course, you had to give them the benefit of the doubt. And because of who they were, the title that they was given and was placed in your life. But sometimes, you have to remove that title and treat people accordingly and how they treat you, regardless of that title, whether it's your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, even right down to your children. Because you shouldn't have to be disrespected on no level just because of the title of that person. Nor should you have to continue to give them the benefit of the doubt just because of the title, because of who that person is. I remember one time when I was married to my first husband, and he came home late one night from work, and he had this old school cell phone, a flip phone, and it was broken in half. And he told me that, I was getting out of the car and it fell on the concrete and it broke. Now, if you know how those old school flip phones were, they was real heavy duty, and it just wasn't no way that you could just drop it on the concrete that simple and it would just completely break in half. It literally looked like somebody took the cell phone and just broke it in half. And me being the giddy wife, okay, I'm going to give my husband the benefit of the doubt. Brushed it off and went on, and I believe what he said. So A few weeks passed by and I decided that I was going to decorate the house and wear a nice little sexy lingerie for him and, do something nice for him because he loves Reese cups. So I went to the store and got him a Reese cup cake and had the fruit, the champagne, the mask. Like I was really ready to put it on him when he got home. I had the rose petals leading out from the back door into the bedroom. He got home late again. And when he walked in the house, I was laying on the bed, had the candles lit, music playing. He looked at me and he said, I guess I'm obligated to have sex with you because you went through so much trouble. I was crushed. Obligated? What do you mean obligated? Not only to mention, you're 3 hours late from coming home from work because your shift ended 3 hours ago. Where have you been? So, needless to say, we got into it. And I found out what really happened to the cell phone. Some woman, a crackhead that he was dating on the job, broke his cell phone because he was coming home to me. I mean, I'm his wife. Why wouldn't he not? Once again, the doty wife, I loved my husband. So I thought. We fought and fought and fought, fuss and fuss and fuss all night long up into the wee early morning. Let's just say I was the only one that ate the fruit. I ended up having to throw away the Reese cup cake. And no love was given that night. Money was wasted. Time was wasted. My heart was broken. The next morning we got up and he decided he was going to move out. He decided. And, at first I was like, oh no, why would you want to do that? You don't want to work it out. Once again, giving him the benefit of the doubt. And he made it as if I was wrong, all because I questioned why he came home late, why his cell phone was broken, and the fact that you didn't even acknowledge the effort that I put in to try to show you love and comfort. You decided that you're going to leave. So, okay, do as you please. But I was devastated and I was heartbroken and I did not understand why. So, needless to say, you really have to stop giving people the benefit out of the doubt just because of the title they carry in your life. You have to remove that title and deal with them accordingly and how they treat you. I have to keep playing it over and over and over in my mind now, especially since I started this spiritual and healing journey. Because it gets you nowhere when you do that. And I remember another time that a guy I was dating, I let him use my car because his car was a little ragged. And he told me he wanted to go visit his cousin that was in another state because she just had a brand new baby and that was his favorite cousin and he wanted to be there for her. And even his grandmother told me that that was his cousin. And I didn't have no other reason to not believe her because the relationship that I did have with her was a good relationship. So I thought because she was the ex-girlfriend of my son's grandfather. So she knew me for a very long time. And we kind of built a relationship by me being around her at the time before his grandfather passed away. So I believed it because she also said, yes, that's his cousin. And I let him drive my car. 3 months later, I got a note in the mail saying that my car tag was picked up off of one of the cameras in that state. He didn't pay the toll. He went right on through the toll. And my tags had got suspended and everything. Come to find out, the young lady that he went to go see was someone he had met offline. It wasn't his cousin at all. So now I'm sitting here. I ended up how I found out. Also, my car got impounded because I got stopped by the police. So that's how I found out, not only by the letter, but also about the tag and everything. And because I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I gave the grandmother the benefit of the doubt. And I was lied to the whole time. You constantly keep giving people the benefit of the doubt, the benefit of the doubt, the benefit of the doubt. I've given a lot of people the benefit of the doubt, especially growing up, the main ones that touched me. I had to give them the benefit of the doubt because they was family. And in my family, on my mother's side, of course, mostly, you had to overlook a lot of things that happened to you because they wanted to have this image, this facade for the public that the family was all put together and we got along and we was happy, we held hands, we sung songs. But that was far from the truth. I had to sit and still smile in the face of my abusers. And my mom being the number one abuser. I gave my mom a lot of benefit of the doubt because that was my mother and I loved her. I had to give my cousin the benefit of the doubt when he was the first person that I remember that touched me. I had to still play with him. I had to still be around him. I had to act like nothing never happened. It was all brushed under the rug. In my family, they do that. They brush everything under the rug. At this point, that rug is higher than Mount Everest with all the lies, the secrets. My oldest brother touched me. I had to give him the benefit of the doubt because guess what? That was my oldest brother. I had to face my attacker. I had to give him the benefit of the doubt because at the end of the day, it was my fault that I chose to go off with him. But once again, at whose expense? At my expense. My feelings. My feelings. I had to walk around my whole life giving everyone the benefit of the doubt. Friends. I given a lot of friends the benefit of the doubt. Because for one, I didn't want to be alone. I didn't want to feel abandoned. And because these was family, friends, you know, you hear family is all you got. You only have one family. You suppose the family is like, but to me, family is like oil and vinegar. It don't mix. Especially people say, oh, that's your mother. You're supposed to love your mother. You only have one mother. But at whose expense? Not theirs. At mine. So I tell you, you got to stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. And that doesn't mean because you stop giving people the benefit of the doubt that you're a mean person, you're an angry person, you don't understand, but you do. You just have to protect you, your peace, your sanity, your mental state. Your mental is important. I am a living witness, a living testimony that your mental is important. Your peace is important. But if you keep constantly giving people the benefit of the doubt, you give your coworkers the benefit of the doubt, because guess what? You got to have a job because we're programmed to work. So to not have a bunch of mess going on at the job with your boss, with your coworkers, you give them the benefit of the doubt because you got to pay your bills. And then you go on that job every day and you're miserable because you got to look the other way. You got to turn the other cheek. You got to give them the benefit of the doubt. But some people can be so disrespectful to you when you give them that benefit of the doubt. Yeah. It's a sad world that we live in when you have to give a person the benefit of the doubt just to feel loved, to feel wanted, to feel needed. And that's not cool. I personally don't think it's cool. But hey, who am I? But if you don't take the first step in gaining your peace, protecting your peace, protecting your mental health, who else is? They sure not. Because as long as they can get away with every little thing, they're going to continue to do it as long as you allow them to. A person is only going to do what you allow them to do to you. A person is only going to act. A person is going to talk to you. They just going to do that if you allow them to do that. And I decided I'm not going to allow that anymore. My eyes is open wide and I see right through you. And I'm no longer giving people the benefit of the doubt, not at my expense, not at my feelings, not at my peace, not at my mental health. I literally gave one of my cousins the benefit of the doubt recently. He's doing a 71-year bid. He's been in prison for 25 years so far of that 71 prison term. His youngest brother is the one that first started touching me. And he's in prison now because of his younger brother and one of our first cousins and their family friend. They turned state evidence on him, and he's in prison doing pretty much their time for murder, robbery, rape. And I was the only family member that was there for him since 2001. He got locked up, I think, in 99, 2000. And I was the only support really for him up until now. And recently I, was trying to send him pictures to keep him in the loop, to be there for him. And he started jerking off at my pictures. And the first time he told me, it's like, oh my God, like I was shocked. I didn't really know what to say. But it's not like I could go back in the prison and get my pictures back. I mean, the damage is already done. So after a certain amount of times, he kept bringing it up. And I'm like, look, I told him, like, you're going to have to stop telling me that. Like, the damage is already done. You already started doing it. I can't take my pictures back. I just ask you to please stop telling me because it's not making me feel good. It's not putting me in a good headspace. And you know what I'm already trying to clean up from what happened to me when I was younger because you've been there since day one. Instead of him understanding that, he sent me a hateful response. So I said, you know what? That's it. I just can't. I'm not gonna do this with him. I'm just gonna cut all ties with him because clearly he doesn't care about my mental state and he doesn't care what happened to me. He just doesn't care. So fast forward, since February the 28th, I got a letter saying how he wanted to eat a donut out my butt, how he thought about so many different ways to have sex with me. Now, remind you, this guy, I was on his home plan. I have a business that he was going to come out and work at on my business. Like I had a job lined up for him and everything because I was supporting him. And if he had got paroled, he would have been here in my house with those feelings. And he would have acted on those feelings. But I thank God for discernment. And I thank God that he told on himself. His true colors showed. And I thank God for that. But that all started because I gave him the benefit of the doubt when he first told me that he jerked off at my pictures. At whose expense? At mine and at my feelings. Because look where we at. 3 months later, I'm still getting hateful mail. I got a letter the other day for Easter, a 4-page letter. He called me every name under the sun but the Mother Mary. And then had a nerve to put that letter in between a card that said Happy Easter and had Bible verses on the front. Those two does not mix, Satan. All because I asked him to stop telling me that he was jerking off at my picture, and then he goes so far as to give me details. Then he goes so far as to write a letter to tell me that he's never going to let me go, despite that I'm married, despite that we're kin. We're not only kin, we're double kin. He's my first and third cousin. Look at that. He told me that he's going to do a ritual to where when he dies, he's going to be with me in the afterlife. He's never going to let me go. He's going to haunt me until the day that I die. Talk about bullshit. Excuse my French if there's some kids listening. But because I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Because I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say that again. Because I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Look where we are today. I literally have to watch my back. Because the type of family that I have a few killers in my family. He'll probably try to put a hit out on me because that's just how my family is. But I don't care. I'm going to continue to tell my truth, even if it costs me my life. Because I shouldn't have to continue to walk around with this hurt in my heart, all because I gave someone a benefit of the doubt. That's not fair. That's not fair to me. And I'm not going to continue to cover up their lies. Or I'm not going to continue to cover up my truth to protect their lies. So I refuse to continue to give someone the benefit of the doubt. But just by giving him that benefit of the doubt and trying to be an understanding person, look where it's gotten me. I don't regret giving him the support because that came out of the kindness of my heart. I actually feel sorry for him. I don't hate him. I'm not even mad at him. But I hope and pray that he gets on his knees and asks God to forgive him. Because I done got so many letters saying he's sorry, saying he missed me. He's like a Sour Patch Kid. I get a good letter, a nice letter, then I get a mean letter. And all that bouncing back and forth, I don't care. You said you're sorry, good. That doesn't mean I got to deal with you. I've been called all kinds of B words, all because I won't talk to him. He even tried to call me. I don't block the number. When one time he called, I even had my husband talk to him. Look, she doesn't want to talk to you. Then he sent a hateful letter about my husband. Then he turned around and sent a nice letter to my husband talking about me in the letter. But at the same time, I'm going to tell my husband to tell me that he misses me and loves me. And then ask if he could call my husband to check on us. But then at the same time, you put in a letter that I've had your dick in my hand since we were 7, since I was 7, which I don't remember that. But if you did, thank you for telling me. Because now that solidifies that I will never have nothing to do with him in this life, the next life, or the life after that. Even if I came back as a bird, I would not chirp at him. But one thing, if I ever run across him, he needs something to eat. He needs a shirt on his back. I will feed him, give him a shirt, and go on with my day. Because that's what God wants me to do. But that doesn't mean you don't even have to say nothing to me. You don't even have to blink, look at me, sigh, nothing. High five, nothing. That, nothing. You don't have to do anything. But as far as just sitting down talking and breaking bread, no. No, 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 no. Because you showed me who you were. And then especially you're telling me that you did touch me. Yeah. I would never. No. I don't have nothing to say to him. Your sorries, your apologies, you can keep them. You told me one time, I got it, I heard it, I read it. But all because I gave him the what? The benefit of the doubt. And here I am. Here I am. Yeah. I've given a lot of people the benefit of the doubt. Actually given a lot of people a pass. And I'm going to say that gracefully. A pass. Because some of those passes, if I didn't give them to people, I probably would be in prison or in a grave. Because some people, whew, they need to get pause put on them. A lot of them people that you give that benefit of the doubt to needs pause put on them. And a lot of people that love for you to give them benefit of the doubt are snakes. Yeah, they're snakes. And they know it. But guess what? Snakes always shed their skin. And when a person show you who they are, believe it. Believe it. If you feel a certain way, go with your instinct. Go with your gut. Yeah, go with your gut. Because guess what? That feeling that you get, you ain't getting it just for no reason. You're getting it for a reason. Listen to it. Stop ignoring it because of who that person is. If it hurts because you walk away from that person, you have to leave that person alone. I'd rather sit in the hurt than to sit in the bullshit. Believe me, you're going to get over that hurt. Trust me, you're going to get over that hurt. And if you do the work, you're going to get over that hurt even faster. But why sit there and continue to let it pile up? Because then it's going to be harder to get over it. So I say, hey, walk away. Walk away, walk away, walk away, walk away. Trust me. Trust me. It's going to be worth it. Sit back and think about it. Who have you given the benefit of the doubt to? And then when you do that, even if you have to write it down, look at their actions. Study their actions, how they treat you. And you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. You're going to see it. And then you're going to realize, woo, I've been letting a lot of stuff go. But at who expense? At yours. Then you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is that person, what are they adding to your life? If it's someone that you don't have to completely cut them out, but hey, Deal with them with a long silver spoon. You can be cordial. Hey, how you doing? Keep it moving. But don't give it to them. Don't give it to them. Don't give them that benefit of the doubt. Trust me. I'm quite sure some of you that listening to this episode, you've given a lot of people the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. And it costs you nothing but hurt and pain while they're sitting back with their feet crossed eating popcorn. Because guess what? They got what they wanted. They got what they wanted. In life, I thought that, oh my God, I wanted to have so many people at my funeral when I passed away because that means you're loved. No, that doesn't mean that. I have them people just want to come to the funeral to see what you had on and eat the food. So I told my husband, when I pass away, you better only call my father. Have the dogs there, have them dressed up, but I want to get cremated. I don't want to be buried on this earth, this filthy earth. I don't want to be buried here. Cremate me, get a little SpongeBob urn, put some stickers on it, put my little dust in there, get a little necklace, put some of it in there, and just carry me with you everywhere you go. Or if not, you don't want to keep my ashes, plant a rose garden and sprinkle me there because I love roses. But I don't want a whole bunch of people coming to my funeral crying over me when you wasn't there for me when I was living and breathing. For what? I'll get right up out my slumber and slap the dog shit out you. Yeah. Well, no, we ain't going through all that. You ain't gonna sit there and buy no expensive casket to put me in a pretty little dress, get my hair done and all that just to sit up there in a casket and be worm food while the funeral home's getting rich off of me sitting there being worm food. No. Put me in that thing and burn me. Yeah. And you go on with your life and be happy. But them so-called people, that's who you're doing it for. All those people you gave the benefit of the doubt to. Those are the ones that's going to be at your funeral with the fake, she was a good person. No. Next. So I tell you, think about it. Think about it. Think about it long and hard. Like I say, even if you have to write it down, I bet you it's over 20 people in your life that you're giving the benefit of the doubt to right now. Right now. I bet you. I guarantee you. I bet my life on it. And you're going to be shocked because majority of those people is people that you really care about, that you love, as the closest ones to you. Yeah. You're going to be amazed. But it's not going to be easy. So I ain't going to sit here and make it seem like it's all, oh my God, it's all hunky-dory. Once you do realize it, it's going to be hard to break away from them people. Because it was hard for me. But baby, when I did, it is so peaceful on this side of the valley. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I miss them from time to time because it's my family. It was close friends. So I thought friends. But guess what? I ain't in no more bullshit. They create their own bullshit over there on that side of the valley. So yeah, on that side of the valley, I'm their monster in their story. But guess what? You're the jackass in mine. But at the same time, I'm over here praying for you while you're over there wishing harm on me. We're two different people. We're two different people. But I would no longer give you the benefit of the doubt at the expense of me. Because guess what? I bet you don't get the benefit of the doubt like that. For none of those people. I guarantee you don't. Write it down and come back and let me know. I'll give you my email. I always give my email in every episode in case you want to send a positive message. Positive. No negative stuff over here. You want to just talk. You want to just leave a comment. I always give my contact information, my email in every episode. So email me. Let me know. I bet you. I bet you don't get the same benefit of the doubt that you give other people. The grace. I bet you don't. But hey, it's all in if you want to heal. It's all in what you want to do with your life, how you want to feel, how you want to move, how you want to do this thing while you're here. Because we all on borrowed time. So why continue to live in misery? All because they want to be in misery. Misery loves company, right? Quite sure you heard that before. And that is the truth, Ruth. You got to take control of your life. You got to take control of the life that God gave you. Because like I said, we are all on borrowed time. And I don't want to waste any more of my borrowed time dealing with the bullshit. I don't. I don't know about you, but I'm telling you, it's peaceful over here in this valley. I still deal with a little bit of the unnecessary drama. So like I told you about the donut eating cousin. But guess what? I don't have to deal with him. I don't have to, I don't have to have any contact with him. None whatsoever. So I chose to X him out. Yeah. Completely. Yeah. Completely out of my life. And it's not at the expense of me or my feelings. I'm okay. And I'm happy. I'm glad he showed me who he really were. That's one less person I got to deal with. So now it's between you, God, and the devil. Not between me. So I said all that to say this. Stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. Because it's only at your expense. It's only at your expense. It's at your feelings. It's at your peace. And it's at your mental health. And mental health is real. Mental illness is real. That doesn't mean you're crazy. For a long time, I didn't talk about my mental health. I was ashamed. Because in the Black community, you're shunned upon. You're called crazy. I don't care being called crazy. At least I'm trying to do something about mine. At least I'm talking about my pain. I decided to create this podcast to help other people that may have gone through or going through the same things that I am and I did. So even if my podcast reaches one person, then I've done my job. God told me to do this podcast. God told me to do it. And I was against it. I said, oh no. I said, that's going to ruffle a lot of feathers in my family. But he kept telling me, do it. And here I am, third episode in, supposed to be the fourth episode. I took last week off. But I'm going to continue to tell my story. I'm going to continue to tell my testimony. And if it reaches one person, then I did my job. I pray that it reaches a lot more people because it's a lot more people, especially that look like me, especially a lot of women that's going through the same thing I'm going through with the mothers, the bullies in the mothers, the touching in the family by the family members or friends. And I know there's a lot of people out there that's dealing with the benefit of the doubt. So I pray that my podcast reaches the ears that it needs to reach. I pray that my words help someone, because I wish I had someone to help me, but I didn't. I carried all that weight on my shoulders for so many years. For so many years. But then I met my husband, my now husband, and he's been my rock. He's been my support system. He's been my punching bag a few times. That's not fair to him. He's my angel on earth. And I thank God every day, every minute, every second, every hour for him. He's been there for me consistently. Through all of this, he's been there for me. And not once has he judged me. Not once. Not once. And I thank God for that. Everyone needs someone. Everyone needs someone. And he came right on time. Yeah, he did. And I thank God for loving me that much to send one of his angels to be here on earth with me. And I don't take it for granted. So I pray to whoever's listening to this that God sends you your angel on earth. But I'll say, please stop giving people the benefit of the doubt, because it's not helping you. It's helping them. I pray that you get the healing that you need, the support that you need, the love that you need. Yeah. But as promised, my contact information is Distant Traumas with the S podcast at gmail.com. Again, that's Distant Traumas with the S podcast at gmail.com. After each episode, I always end in a prayer. This week is 1 Corinthians 13:7. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endure all things. Well, that's all we have on this episode of Distant Traumas. I pray that this week be an awesome and blessing week for you. Until next time, be safe. Bye. Lord, you bless me with joy and peace. And then he told me he would supply all my needs. And when things in my life, they turn cloudy and gray, Lord, you keep on sending